What's up, Pursuit Nation? It's your president, KHG59 Gaming here, and today we're back in the KPL. This is going to be week 2 as we're going up against Bidoofs 77 and his Buffalo Bidoofs. We won last week 4-0, and he won last week 5-0, so if I win this battle at all, I'll be first place in the division, and he will be second. So looking at his team, I got most of it right. I knew Zygarde, Manectric, Finny, and Azelf would most likely be there. Glad not to see Stakataka because that thing was very, very scary. But we do see the Salazzle instead, which I didn't really think was gonna come. But I mean, it's not too much of an issue. I've got stuff for it, and then Cofagrigus, which is probably there just to check the Mega Pinsir. So to start this game off, I'm going to lead with my Magnezone. I don't expect them to lead Zygarde, so I'm just going to go for a nice Volt switch. And if he goes into Zygarde, I can just go straight into Licky Licky. He goes into Manectric, and I forgot that this thing got Lightning Rod. Nice. Turn one, I'm already playing like dog shit. Goes for a light screen here. Interesting play. Now right here, seeing the light screen, I thought he would have gone for either Reflector, T-Bolt, or Volt Switch. So Crocodile can handle any of that. So instead, this boy goes for an Overheat. +1 Overheat is actually a roll to kill my Crocodile. And he gets the roll. This is huge because Crocodile is very, very good against his team. And as you'll see later, if I had this Crocodile, which was Choice Scarfed, you'll see that the Azelf, the Salazzle wouldn't have been a problem. This Manectric wouldn't have been a problem later in the game. But, in chat later, you said I should get what I deserved, and I made the obvious play and I get what I deserved. I'm not saying it was a bad play on his part, and I'm not saying it was a bad play on my part, but I'm just saying if Crocodile was still alive, I could have definitely preserved it because he never gets hazards up this match, so I could definitely have wished it up with Licky Licky at some point later in the game, but I won't get that opportunity because fucking rolls. Anyway, back to the game. I'm just going to go on my Licky Licky at -1. I can live any hit. He goes into Cofagrigus, and I'm going to just Licky Q for damage on the Manectric. I'm going to go into Tentacruel here, expecting the Willow, and we see the Willow. Now I'm going to go get my T-Spikes up. And now with my T-Spikes up, that's great because Cofagrigus will get poisoned, Zygarde will get poisoned, along with the Finny before Misty Terrain's up. So I'm going to go into my Magnezone, my AV Magnezone. He nasty plots up here, which is actually terrifying because Fire Blast even through the AV kills me. If he had Flamethrower, he wouldn't have killed, but it's whatever. He does go for Fire Blast, lands it, and I have a dead Magnezone. This is why I said I need Crook, because if I had Crook right here, I wouldn't have had to let... I'm going to send in Licky Licky right here, and Licky Licky wouldn't have had to take the damage that it wouldn't have taken if Crook was still around, because, I mean, Scarf Knockoff, I know he's not Focus Sash. Well, I know now, but we won't know until this happens. Because if I have Crook right here, he loses an item or he just goes into Manectric, which, I mean, I don't really know why you do that, but whatever. But yeah, this Azelf turns out to be a bigger problem than I thought it would be, but he decides to nasty plot up again, and at this point, if he is Psychic, I pretty much lose the game. If I lose Licky Licky, I just lose to Zygarde. He goes for Psyshock, thankfully. I'm a more Fizz Def based Licky Licky for Zygarde, so I do get rid of the Azelf, so that's good. But the thing is, my Licky Licky is weakened to the point where an unboosted Thousand Arrows kills me, so I need to wish up at some point. And the thing I'm most likely to be able to wish up on is the Cafagus. So down goes the Azelf. And in comes Salazzle, gets rid of the T-Spike. I'm just going to switch out into Tentacruel. Preserve my Licky Licky because I know I can wish past things around later. And I got to heal up Licky Licky for Zygarde anyway. So I'm just going to go for Scald. This sucks because I really wanted to Toxic this thing, but as you'll see in a few seconds, it won't really matter. So I'm just going to get T-Spikes up again. He'll go for Shadow Ball, weaken me a little bit. With the burn damage, another one might kill me, so I just go out into Licky Licky. And this was a big play. This allows me to wish up this turn. And he goes for Memento, which is even better. So now I'm at -2, -2. It's not really the biggest issue. I can still break a sub on Zygarde with Ice Beam, so he goes for DD, which is absolutely fine. I'm just gonna go for Ice Beam, do a solid 30%. And he's already weakened down to a little above half, which is nice. That's from later. So I know at +1 I can live absolutely anything, so I'm just gonna go for another Ice Beam. And I know I can live a +1 Z Thousand Arrows. I think he actually made a misprep here. I feel like he should have brought Dragonium Z instead. He would have hit this harder, and he would have hit the Gourgeist harder, which I didn't bring. I didn't bring Gourgeist because I was afraid of like a sub-coil set that it could have potentially been set up fodder for. So, Thousand Arrows will kill me. That's absolutely fine because this thing dies to Quick Attack from Pinsir. And I'll go for that Quick Attack, and down goes Zygarde. So, now Salazzle comes in, and I don't want any part of that, so I'm just going to sack off my Tentacruel and let it take a little bit more Life Orb damage. And now I'm going to send in my Mew. He misses Fire Blast here, and this... if he hit this Fire Blast, he would have got the damage off on Mew, where he could have revenged me with Manectric. So... yeah, if Manectric kills Mew, if I lose Mew, it was over. So, I miss, and I get the Psychic off. So, in comes Manectric. I know I can live any one hit, so I'm gonna pop my Psychium Z to make sure this thing dies. And, surely enough, it does die. Thank goodness. In comes Tapu Fini, and... the crit on T-Bolt does matter as well because it forces me to roost up here. And he's just going to spam Moonblast. He gets special attack up. I go for Nasty Plot on the off chance he doesn't go for... the off chance he doesn't get a Moonblast box from Track Drop, but of course he does. Of fucking course he does. It goes for Psychic. And then he's gonna kill me off the Hydro Pump. This damage, 2 returns should knock this thing out, and he shouldn't be able to kill me with any one hit. He goes for a Guava Berry, and this scared me as well. Well, we can live Ice Beam, because Mega Pinsir is actually kind of bad, in a way. He's down to 59%. This next return is a 68.8% chance to kill. And we kill. Let's go, boys. We are now 2-0 and +5 in the KPL. Good game to Bidoof. I should not have won. I really enjoyed this game. And I think a lot of the prep and play on both sides were... carried out pretty well, so here's that. Next week, well, technically this week, this battle's gonna be late, but face Runes 33, who